Jackson County Board of Education, July 8th, 2026, work session to order. Hope everyone had a fine Christmas break and a happy new year. We're glad to be back. I know everyone else is. I'll turn it over to Dr. Brown for superintendent's comments.
Thank you, Mr. Sanders. Board, community, staff, welcome. Glad to have everybody back. Glad everybody returned to work last Friday. We are 4 days into the semester and excited. Our kids are excited to be back. I had the opportunity to visit with a number of them over the last few days, and they're excited to be back at school, most of them. Want to remind you, Board, of a few things. Code of Ethics, we'll have to approve that on Monday night. Also, on Monday night, our board meeting will be in the Empower Auditorium. And also want to remind you, Board, on Monday, February 23rd, we have the Star Student and Teacher of the Year banquet that the Jackson County Chamber puts on. I want to remind you of those three things. Also, Board, I know we've communicated over the break, but we had the tragic loss of Mike Smith, the Carroll Daniel superintendent construction superintendent that built, finished Jackson County High School, built Legacy Knoll, and built Heroes, and was building our other three schools. Mike was dear to our school district and our community and had done a tremendous amount of work to make sure that all of those schools were built on time and under budget, and did a phenomenal job. Mike was very close to I know our facility staff, Mr. Wester, Mr. Schofield, and me, and just want to make sure we keep his family in our thoughts and prayers over the next few weeks. At this time, I'll turn it over to Dr. Hardigree for the Teaching and Learning Report.
The semester, so we're excited about that. And we have something that's always fun to bring to you tonight, and that is a STEAM bus update. So I'm going to invite Amy Tennell, our science and STEAM specialist, to come up and join me. She's going to be presenting tonight. But before she gets started, I just want to thank Amy, also Cynthia Williams, our STEAM bus teacher. Just the work that this is the good work, I want to call it the fun work, but it really truly is the good work too, because it truly models for our teachers a way of teaching that is exceptionally engaging for our students. It gives them experiences to really help them dig into the literacy work that we're doing, because we know that when students are really involved in that experiential learning, they're able to just achieve at very high levels. So I don't want to steal Amy's thunder, but I do want to thank her for that, and just also to let you know that we're coming off of a $35,000 innovation grant that keeps that STEAM bus rolling, and so I'm very proud of that as well. So I'll turn it over to Amy.
Great. Thank you. All right, I'm going to give you a couple of things, if that's okay, and you can just look on them. I didn't know how easily you would be able to see what's going to go up here. First of all, thank you for the time and the opportunity I get to come and talk to you about something that is very near and dear to my heart. I actually I got to do some teaching today on the STEAM bus at Heroes all day, and I told the students, I said, this is my baby. So it's always fun when I get to come and deliver some lessons on my baby, and they all look at you funny like, what do you mean? And I have to explain that. So what we're going to do tonight, just very briefly, is kind of give you an overview of the Gamified Learning Enrichment on Wheels, which is that grant, some updates about the effectiveness and what we've been able to do this year. So the first thing that we have on your screen and that you have there more easily able to see are just some stats just specific to the gamified experiences. And remember, we wrote these lessons 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Last time I had you put on VR headsets. We're not going to do that tonight. But these are just some stats just from this year alone. In the fall, we had 7 schools visited twice. That was on that fall schedule. And we delivered just in the gamified lessons, 4 VR lessons for 3rd grade, 3 for 4th grade, and then 5 Makey lessons. So just in the fall alone, we reached 240 students in Jackson County, 3rd through 5th graders. In the spring, we have schools scheduled 2 schools are already on the schedule. The rest of them will sign up as we get a little bit farther, and those stats are there for you. Third grade had signed up for VR lessons and breakout EDU lessons, and the pictures that you have on the flyer there are one of our third grade classes from West Elementary doing the Bring on the Birds lesson, which is all about animal adaptations, and they had a great time. So on there for you also is just some of the feedback that teachers gave specific to those VR or gamified lessons that we've done. They love them. The kids love them. The teachers love them. We've got teachers like, we need some of these. The other slide that I just wanted to put on there is really just an overall impact. The project itself, I've developed 48 lessons, and that's why I gave you a menu. Now we have it as a menu. I gave you that little menu, and it is kind of where teachers will choose the lessons that they want to have delivered or either use if the bus is there. The schedule, we've scheduled it this year based on school size. It's a new thing that we've done, and the transportation department, again, is amazing. We schedule it so that there's enough segments for the bus to actually just at least be present there for the number of homerooms there are in the building, so that at least there's segments. Cynthia Williams is there 2 days a week to facilitate lessons, and then I'm there as my schedule allows. A lot of times the schools will email me and say, hey, can you squeeze any time in your schedule between all the other stuff so that we can have more facilitated lessons from a district personnel. So I've done it actually 2 days this week because I had some holes in my schedule. What that means, though, average is there's 414 lessons delivered, which means there's 414 opportunities for teacher instruction to be impacted. It's a co-teaching model, so they're in there with me. And that's really the goal of this, is to really kind of shape and change the way they're delivering science content. Lots of opportunities, over 8,000 students, not individual. I know that number's higher than what we have in elementary schools. But when you look at it, that means 8,000 kids, whether sometimes it's once, sometimes they're there twice in the year, are being in front of these lessons and having these opportunities. So it's a wonderful thing. So thank you so much for your support of the program. And if you have any questions or ever want to kind of show up at the school where the bus lessons are happening, you're welcome to do so. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Tennell.
Sure.
All right, and for our last couple of slides, I'm going to invite Ms. Kopke up here, and she has a few exciting things to share about our technology competition. But we are proud to keep the STEAM bus rolling, and we'll keep looking for innovative ways to fund that and just keep expanding on it. All right, Ms. Kopke.
I don't have flyers. Now I feel out of the loop. I'm totally tipsy. So we just finished our 4th year, so I still appreciate Dr. Brown bringing that to the table and challenging our teachers in our schools in doing this. So it gets better every year. We have our regional tech competition is coming up, and that is on January 31st, and we are lucky enough that we are going to be doing it at Legacy Knoll this year. So usually it is in Bassa, down in Barrow, and we are getting to host it, so that is exciting. So we had 172 kids do it this year. We have 55 of them going on to regionals, and then hopefully more on to state. So each year we've sent more to state. Let me hit that. So that's another. All these great kids are going on. So Monday night, you're going to get to see the students at the board meeting that are going on to regionals. So it's just great. They compete in 13 different categories, and it gets better every year. I think the highlight, too, is that some of these kids are doing it at home. It doesn't have to be done in the school. Some of them are done in class. Some aren't. So it's just truly passion projects on what the kids love. So it is an amazing thing to see. So thank you for giving us that opportunity. And that's January 31st is we're going to have the regionals at Legacy Knoll.
Well, thank you, Ms. Kopke. It truly is. The range of projects that the kids produce is truly, it will blow your mind. And you might be talking to a 2nd grader who's developed a seatbelt sensor for the back seat because they realized there wasn't a seatbelt sensor back there for their baby sister. So that really like the relevance of the projects. It's truly, it's just a neat thing to see. So we appreciate that work. Thanks for giving us the chance to share.
And always glad when we took it from Barrow. Sorry, that was a personal joke right there. I'll make her watch that part of the board meeting tonight. Human Resources, Ms. Todd.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to share this evening. We've got an update on our open enrollment period that we just got through concerning benefits that we offer to our staff. So open enrollment is the time every year where we let our employees review and choose the benefits that support their health, their families, and it's really a part of that total compensation package, what we offer our employees, and it's such an important role in attracting and retaining staff. So I wanted you to be aware of all of those benefits that we offer, because when our employees feel supported and valued, that just means it strengthens our schools and it's what's best for kids, and that's what we're all about. So specifically, I wanted to address health insurance. It is one of our most important and most costly benefits that we provide. But when we look at our participation, you see how important it really is. 80% of our certified staff and just over 70% of our classified staff rely on the district for health insurance, which just shows how important this coverage is for our employees and their families. And I like to say with it this high, the level of participation is just, it's an example to you of the investment that we make in our employees. Because unlike other benefits, we do not get to choose our health insurance. The state mandates that we use the state health benefit plan, and they set the plan design and the premium rates. So the cost increases are outside of our control. It's nothing that the board has control over. And this year, the district cost is about $22,620 annually per employee. While these costs have increased over time, it does again represent a significant investment in our people. And that's how I try to spin it when we talk about taxpayer dollars and where we spend our funds, is we are investing in our people. It's a critical benefit. You saw how many of our employees participate. So it is something I feel like it is very critical that we offer. And it's the only plan that can be carried into retirement through TRS. So it's a long-term safety net, not just a current benefit for a lot of our employees. And that's why that benefit is so important. Switching to our supplemental benefits, our goal during open enrollment isn't just to offer the benefits, but it's to make sure our employees understand their options and be confident in what's coming out of their paycheck every month. And this year was our first year partnering with our new broker, Mark III, who met one-on-one with each and every employee and provided education and personalized guidance to our employees. And the reason we went with them is they didn't push products. They don't work off of commission. So they truly were listening to our employees, finding out, why did you have this plan in the past? Could you look at this? Have you thought about doing this plan instead of this plan? Making sure our employees understand that they're getting first of all, what they're purchasing, and second of all, is it the best thing that they need to get for their family and their health? So we got overwhelmingly positive feedback from that experience. We said we were going to make it mandatory the first year while we changed providers or brokers, and we already have gotten people emailing saying, can you offer that again? It was so helpful for these people to be able to guide us, and it took the pressure off of us in our department because they want to know, what did you get? And that's not my role. Everybody's individual. So for us to have that broker to come in and help us and be a partner through that. And it's important to note that the supplemental broker does not cost the district anything. They're compensated through the insurance carriers. So as you can see from this slide, our participation was very good, with dental and vision leading the way with the positive enrollment. But Mark III also brought to us 4 new plans that we have not offered to employees before. The universal life policy, a separate cancer policy, the accident, and then the hospital policy that had not been offered previously. And you can see how well that participation was. So we were very pleased with that process this year, and look forward to continuing the partnership with them.
Now, do they go to the schools?
Yes, ma'am.
I think that's beneficial too with them. They go to the schools for the students, for the teachers.
Yes, ma'am, and they set up they handled everything from the appointment scheduling to contacting employees who didn't sign up for a schedule and making sure they knew what their options were, handled all of the paperwork for us. So it was a very good partnership. And again, no cost to us with it coming from the insurance companies. And then I just wanted to briefly highlight our shared savings incentive program. So this helps us manage those health insurance costs while still giving some of our employees the flexibility. It's available to our classified staff who have coverage, insurance coverage through someone else, through their spouse. And they choose not to enroll in state health with us. Because if you remember, we do get reimbursed for certified employees, their health insurance. We do not get reimbursed from the state for classified employees. So we try to reach out to some of our classified employees and say, hey, if you are able to secure coverage through your spouse or a different avenue and you choose not to elect state health, we have an incentive program that we could offer you. And if you see here, eligible employees receive $3,600 a year. It's paid in 2 installments, and that's that incentive to opt out of state health. So when you do all the magic math, we had 37 people sign up for the program this year. That's up from 33 last year, so it's continuing to grow. It saves the district about $703,000, and I like to put that amount in perspective because I'm a people person, not a numbers person. That equates to 6 teaching salaries. So by offering this, we were able to be very fiscally responsible with taxpayer dollars, and with your support, and offering it has saved us that amount of money in order to put back in the pockets of teachers and back in classrooms. So very great program that we offer. Thank you for your continued support of that. And I am the one standing here tonight and sharing all of this data. But I want you to know and to be very clear that the 2 individuals who will not be happy with me that their picture is up here for the world to see, but these 2 individuals are the ones that did all the work behind that data that you just saw. They gather the information, they manage the enrollment process, they solve problems as they arise, they answer the questions of our employees, and they make sure everything comes together, and it always does. So I just get the privilege of standing here and telling you about it, but these ladies are a tremendous asset to our district and deserve all the credit for how well our open enrollment period went. Any questions? All right, thank you.
Yeah, big thanks to the HR team. I was very hesitant to look at other providers, and Cameron and Nathan and Shannon and Amanda pushed, so once again, they were right.
All right, they can confirm. I asked Shannon a dumb question yesterday about benefits, and she's awesome. So, but I'm here tonight to give you an update. So on Monday of this week, we announced our scholarships for the JCSS Foundation. So 15 scholarships, 9 of them are for seniors this year, 6 are for alumni. So we put that on social media. And of course, those are funded by business partners and different individual members in our community who have done that. So from education majors to engineering majors to healthcare to STEM and STEAM to technical colleges, our students. And so we met with the counselors on our professional learning day, gave them an idea of what we're looking for and what students would qualify for those. I think Empower is going to play a big role in that, especially when you think of our alumni. So those are students who are going into student teaching, who are alums of our schools. Hey, here's a $1,000 scholarship. And then, of course, same with our engineering students who are alums. So not only are we impacting the seniors right now, but kids who graduated 3 or 4 years ago that might need help, that their other scholarships have run out. So I'm excited about that. And so I encourage people to go and apply at our website, jcssfoundation.org/scholarships, open it through February. And so, really appreciate the work being done by our foundation and be able to provide this support for kids going into the next phase of their life. And so there's the next slide, which I don't know, but I couldn't. Buzzed on me. But there's another slide I think you have that shows all the scholarships and what they are. So again, appreciate your support and the support of our community. So thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Hooper, for your work on that behind the scenes to make that happen.
Is there an age limit on
I don't know if there's an
that?
age
There's an
limit.
age limit on that, Ed?
You going back to school?
Well, I did age limit.
Good evening, Board. Thanks for a chance to share a little bit about enrollment. The enrollment number for the beginning of this semester is 11,497, almost back up to 11,500. And I believe if we asked Martha, she would say we are over 11,500 now. So back over 11.5, and we've got some kiddos enrolling, and things are continuing to kind of move forward in that direction. And just to kind of give you an idea of where we've been, once again, and it's important because I don't think a lot of our folks understand how fast we have grown and how much we've grown over the past. But since fiscal year 19, in that October count, when we were just under 8,000 students, we have grown 43% as a district, and that is more than twice as fast as any other district in the state, just to be clear on that. It's an amazing amount of growth. And even last year, growing into this year at 1.63%, you say, well, gee, Jason, why are we slowing down so much? Well, we have to look at that in context, right? Everything needs to be seen in context. And if you look at the next slide, this is why. The rest of the state declined in students. So we're growing while the rest aren't. And you can look at there, as a state, we lost almost 30,000 students in the state of Georgia in this year over the year before. All of the districts around us lost students with the exception of Commerce, which grew by 32. We grew by 182. So you can see we're still growing, just not quite at the same clip. But we'll see how that, as the economy kind of settles and if the housing market continues to go, we've got lots of builders who are ready to go. And we'll see how that plays out as we move forward into the future. But, and just to kind of look at it across the district, if I can get this to go. There we are. You can see that a lot of that growth, as we know, is on the west side of our county, with Jackson County High School growing at 88% over the last 7 years, almost doubling in size. You can see that our two middle schools now, in 18, we only had one middle school but on the west side, but now we have two. They've grown at about 62%. And then our elementary schools on the west side have grown at 65%. And of course, we have seen growth on the east side as well. Maysville Elementary has grown at 31% over the past 7 years. South Jackson's grown. East Jackson, some of that was due to a line change that we had there. They haven't really lost students, but we changed the line there a little bit. So we just see that growth is happening across the district, and it's something that we're certainly monitoring. Grateful for your support in trying to address that growth with the decision to build our 3 new schools. We really do feel that decision was wise and timely, and as the schools are being built, they will provide very, very much needed relief for Jackson County High School, for our elementary schools, and eventually for West Jackson Middle School. So grateful for your guidance and wisdom in that. Do you have any questions about enrollment? All right, appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
I have a few.
Yes, sir.
So Mr. Wester and I
You
work.
wanted me to go fast, and now you're asking a question.
Yes, yeah, well, some important things. One of our challenges is I think being able to forecast where we land next August, and then the August of 27. And so what does your office do to help gather information so that we have timely information to help us make decisions on, because enrollment drives a significant amount of decisions, how many teachers we hire, what bus routes we have, how many school food nutrition workers we have, all of those decisions. How do we, I think it's important for the community and the board to understand how much information we try to use to make those decisions so we can forecast and predict to the best of our ability.
Right. I mean, it's impossible to get exact numbers of what's going to happen in 6 months or 8 months. But what we've tried to do is to be as informed as possible. We've purchased a program through our Frontline software program that allows us to literally in real time know the address of every student in our county and exactly where they live and what schools they attend. And so we can utilize that software to take a school and its boundaries and all the students that are within it and play in a sandbox, as it were, digitally, and adjust lines to say if we built a school, let's say at Boone Road and 332, and needed to adjust the elementary line for Gum Springs and for West Elementary, what would that look like, right? And if we did it this way and these kids were all taken off those two schools, what would the new school look like in terms of enrollment right now, and what would those other schools look like, and how would we adjust those populations? So we've done that. The other thing that we try to do is get real-time information from the builders. And so we actually, Dr. Brown has done this, I've done this. We'll drive around, we'll call each of the developments and say, hey, how are things going? You know, how were your sales last month? And I have a spreadsheet that we keep with every development that has been approved by the county, by the cities, because we also have to keep up with what Houston's doing, what Pendergrass is doing, and all those different things, what Arcade's doing now, right? And so we try to keep all that data and keep it updated as best we can so that we're as informed as we can be with what the trends look like and where our students are and where we think they're going to be based on where people are going to be building houses. So I do believe, Dr. Brown, we have more information and better information than we've ever had in terms of trying to forecast where our students are and where they're planned to be, and so that we can address that with our building and with the program that we have to adjust our lines as the kids come and as we grow.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all. Thanks so much. Any other questions? All right. Thanks, y'all.
Yep. Yes. Well, good evening, Board. I can't believe it, but we are already halfway through a fiscal year. And right now, the Finance Department is full steam ahead with doing our budget planning and projections. And with that, I just wanted to kind of talk about or mention our priorities right now, and that is building our SPLOST revenue balance, because we know that the majority of our bond funds are going to be used for the Boone Road pre-K through 12 campus. So we're trying to build our SPLOST fund so that we can continue to maintain, improve, renovate, add on to our current facilities. And also, of course, we are trying to preserve and grow our general fund balance, because we know in the next 2 to 3 years that there will be a pretty significant impact on those operating funds from opening 3 new schools. So I just wanted to remind everybody of that. And with that, I think our December financials will support our attention to those priorities. And you can see that our SPLOST revenue is back up, thank goodness. So I guess the state finished taking all of our money from audits. So that's looking good, and it's up over all measures, month over month, year over year, and over the 12-month average. So that SPLOST is looking good. And then, as you can see, our fund balance grew a little bit over the month of December. We got a significant amount of tax revenue in over the holidays and throughout the month of December. So we'll probably see another good increase for January, just because they did send out those adjusted tax bills and push their due date till January 31st. So we'll probably see some more pretty decent revenue coming in January. And then as you look at our financial summary, you can see that at 50% of the year, we have collected now 62% of our budgeted revenues, and we have only spent 49% of our budgeted expenditures. So that both of those areas contribute to that ending fund balance of over $54 million. So we're just going to not spend money and keep that fund balance growing. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Any questions? Okay, thank you.
You didn't know you were going to get twice the funding.
Gives me more time to think of more questions.
Yeah. Grateful for a chance to share our monthly project update. I know Mr. Farmer would love to be here, but I get to do this for you tonight. Just want to echo Dr. Brown's comments on the loss of Mike Smith. Sorry. What a just a great person he was, and our condolences to his family and to the people at Carroll Daniel, who he was like family for them too. So Carroll Daniel is going to take care of us, though. We can promise you that. Looking at the site there for Hayes Farm Elementary Schools, Sells Mill Middle School, and Houston High School, it is progressing well. Even through the break, they were out there working just about every day. And we've seen lots of things happening. They've got some underground detention happening now. The wall, there's a pour tomorrow for the wall, and I think there's one more after that. And then that whole retaining wall that holds up one wing of the high school will be completed, and things will really start coming out of the ground at that point, once that thing gets finished on the high school. And they're also working on foundation footings for the slab at the first wing of the high school, but also at the elementary school. So that's all happening right now. They're also finishing the final cut and fill as far as the the dirt there, moving some of that around. Once again, it's 1.25 million cubic yards of dirt that they're moving on this site, and they're probably 85% done with that. So a lot of things happening there. Some things happening. The block has been delivered, and you can see some of the pictures here where that's the wall that they're finishing. They've got this last turn, and you can see they're waterproofing there. Once that waterproofing is on and kind of stable, then they'll start backfilling that wall and making it all kind of come to grade. It's going to be amazing. They've started some curb and gutter from the 332 entrances up and around. And yesterday, while we were out there, they were actually putting down some of the base that is going to be covered with asphalt. So they'll start trying to get those ready to use as quickly as they can to bring in supplies through those roads instead of having to come on the dirt. Because when it rains, that becomes mud, as you know. So they're trying to make it as stable as possible to bring in all the infrastructure they're going to be bringing in. Of course, you've got the grass growing. That's great for erosion control. A big piece of this site has been us making sure as best we can that we're going to keep our water on site and keep the water coming off site as clean as possible. And this has been a huge piece of that. And they've done a wonderful job. Simpson Grading and Carol Daniel have been very vigilant in that effort, and we're grateful for that. The weather has helped, but we did get 3 inches of rain a few months back when we weren't expecting it, and the site held very well. So we're very excited about that. If I can get our slides to continue, maybe. There we go. You can see there's the foundations there at the front of the first wing. There is a big detention pond. That may be where we do our bass fishing for the high school. We'll see about that, depending how full it gets. We're thinking about that. And it's a big pond, though. Actually, we turn that into the Houston swimming pool. We'll see. Trying to see if we can progress. That may be it for now. Any questions about the site? Good things happening, folks. Good things happening. Appreciate y'all. Dr. Brown, any questions?
Are we on track?
We're on time. Yes, sir. I asked them that yesterday in our OAC meeting. We are on time. We're ahead of schedule right now. Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Oh, that concludes my comments, Mr. Chairman.
We do have a need for executive session for personnel action. Do I have a motion to go to executive session? Moved by Mr. Johnson, second by Ms. Wheeler. All in favor? Aye. Okay, I need a motion to come back from executive session.
So moved.
Have a second. That's a motion by Ms. Wheeler, second by Mr. Hollett. All in favor? Aye. Need a motion to approve the personnel actions recommended by the superintendent in executive session. Moved by Mr. Johnson. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
We have a double second by Ms. Wheeler and Mr. Hollett. All in favor? Aye. We are adjourned.